Hey Leo, imagine this. You are studying English and someone tells you, it's raining cats and dogs.
That classic example. I would probably look outside and wonder where the animals are falling from. It makes no sense literally.
Exactly. That feeling of confusion is what we are tackling today. Welcome everyone to a new episode of the English Blend.
Hi everyone, I'm Leo, and I'm ready to dive into the wonderful world of English idioms.
And I'm Mia. We are here to help you move past those literal translations.
Today's episode is focused on English idioms that natives actually use, not the ones you only see in textbooks. We're talking about real, everyday conversation starters.
We're going to unlock why native speakers sound so fluent. It's often because they use these small phrases.
Exactly. So grab your coffee or maybe your tea, and let's get started.
Let's start with a quick definition. What exactly is an idiom, Leo?
Great question. Simply put, an idiom is a group of words whose meaning is not obvious. You cannot understand the phrase by looking at the individual words.
That's the key point. It's a figurative meaning. It's like a secret code that English speakers share.
Right? If I say I'm going to spill the beans, you shouldn't expect any actual legumes. Unless you're having dinner, of course. But in conversation, it means you're revealing a secret.
That's a good one to start with. Let's look at some idioms that come up constantly, the ones you hear every single day. I want to start with one related to feelings or health. It's incredibly common.
Hit me with it.
The phrase is under the weather.
A classic. This is one of the easiest idioms to swap into your daily English.
Absolutely. What does it mean, Leo? Explain it simply for our listeners.
If someone says they are under the weather, they mean they're feeling slightly sick. Maybe they have a cold, or perhaps they just feel unwell.
They don't need to be standing outside in the rain, right?
No rain required. It's just a gentle way to say you're not feeling 100%. You know, instead of saying, I feel terrible.
Let's use it in a sentence. If a colleague emails you, they might say, I can't come to the meeting today. I'm feeling a little under the weather.
That is a perfect, realistic example. It's polite and clear. It sounds very natural.
Or maybe your friend cancels plans. Sorry, I have to bail on dinner. I'm under the weather.
And the best part is that it's not too specific. You don't have to explain if it's a cough or a headache. You were simply under the weather.
It definitely saves time. Now, why do we even say that? Here's a quick fun fact.
Ooh, I love the fun facts. Tell us the story behind it.
Historians believe this phrase comes from sailing, back when people traveled by ship.
Interesting. How does the ocean relate to feeling sick?
When the sea was rough, sailors who felt ill were often sent below deck to help them recover. They were literally under the weather deck, away from the harsh elements.
Wow, that is fascinating. It makes a little sense now. So when you're under the weather, you're trying to find shelter.
Exactly. You are looking for comfort because you feel unwell. It's a great piece of cultural context.
Okay, so let's review our first practical idiom. Say it with us, listeners. Under the weather. It means feeling sick.
Now, let's talk about responsibility and taking action. This is another huge category for idioms.
Yes, English speakers love to assign responsibility using sporty metaphors.
You nailed it, Leo. Our next idiom is, the ball is in your court.
That sounds very athletic. It definitely comes from sports, likely tennis.
It does. Think about a tennis game. When the ball is in your court, what must you do?
I must hit it back. I have to take action. It is my turn to play.
Precisely. So, when we use this idiom in conversation, we mean it is someone's turn to act or make a decision. The responsibility is theirs.
This is a crucial one for business English, too. If you are waiting for a reply to an email, you might tell your boss, I sent the proposal. The ball is in their court now.
Meaning you did your part. Now they must respond. It sounds professional and natural.
It's much more professional than saying I'm just waiting for them to finally answer me.
Right. It implies that you're waiting for the next action. It's about movement.
Let's try another example. Maybe you are planning a trip with a friend. You picked the destination.
And I picked the dates. Now my friend needs to book the hotel.
So you might say to your friend, I finished my research. The ball is in your court to book the accommodations.
Excellent. It clearly defines who needs to move forward. It's a simple, everyday phrase.
Remember, these idioms are tools. They help you sound more integrated into the language. Don't be afraid to try them out.
Exactly. Start small. Maybe use under the weather next time you cancel a plan. Or the ball is in your court when delegating a task.
That's how real language learning happens, through small, actionable steps.
This next idiom is one that always confuses learners because it sounds like advice for injury.
Uh-oh. Does it involve animals falling from the sky again?
Not quite, but it is very strange if you translate it literally. The phrase is break a leg.
We hear this most often in the context of theater, or when someone is about to perform.
Yes, if someone is going on stage, or maybe they have a big job interview, we tell them to break a leg.
What does it actually mean?
It means good luck. It means do your best. It's a very enthusiastic way to wish someone success. It's a high-energy phrase.
But why break a leg? Why not have a great time?
This is another fun historical note. The origin is debated.
Tell us your favorite theory, Mia.
The most popular theory is theatrical superstition. Actors are very superstitious. They believe that wishing someone good luck actually brings bad luck.
So, they say the opposite thing, to trick the bad luck spirits.
That's the idea. By saying something terrible, like break a leg, you ward off the true bad luck.
That is wonderfully dramatic. Only actors could come up with that.
Another theory relates to bowing. When an actor finishes a performance, they might bend their knee or break the leg. It means they performed so well they earned a bow.
Either way, it means success. It means to do great work.
Let's practice this one. Your friend is nervous before a presentation. What do you say?
I say, hey, you got this. Go out there and break a leg.
And if someone tells you that, how do you respond?
I usually just say thanks, or I'll try. You don't need to break anything, literally.
Exactly. It's a very encouraging phrase. Use it when you want to give a boost of confidence.
Now, Mia, we need an idiom for when things are difficult, when you must face a hard truth.
We are moving from encouragement to endurance. This is another incredibly common one. The phrase is bite the bullet.
Ooh, that sounds painful. What is the meaning here?
To bite the bullet means to face a difficult or unpleasant situation with courage. You accept the pain or difficulty, and you deal with it.
So it's about pushing through something uncomfortable.
Yes, and the origin is quite literal. Think about old surgeries before modern anesthesia existed.
Oh no, were people actually given bullets to bite?
And some old medical procedures, especially military ones, soldiers were sometimes given a soft lead bullet to clench between their teeth.
That helped them manage the intense pain. It gave them something physical to focus on. They had to bite the bullet and endure the procedure.
That's the historical context. It's a very strong image.
So today, we use it for difficult tasks, like submitting taxes or having an awkward conversation.
That's right. Example time. I really don't want to fire that employee, but I have to bite the bullet and do it tomorrow.
Or maybe you hate going to the dentist, but you have a cavity. I just need to bite the bullet and schedule that appointment.
It shows acceptance and resignation. You know the task is tough, but you are prepared to face it.
These 4 idioms, under the weather, the ball is in your court, break a leg, and bite the bullet, are truly essential. They cover health, responsibility, encouragement, and difficulty.
Okay, Leo. We've given our listeners some powerful tools, but how do they actually start using them?
We need a concrete plan. Let's offer 5 practical tips. These are actionable steps our listeners can take today.
I love it. Let's call this the Idiom Integration Plan.
Tip number 1. Never learn an idiom as a standalone phrase. Always learn it within a full sentence.
Exactly. Don't just write down break a leg equals good luck. Write down the full example.
Write down, my friend has a job interview tomorrow. I told her to go in there and break a leg. That sentence is the context.
When you see the full story, it sticks better. Your brain remembers the scene, not just the isolated words.
Think of it like a mini story. The story helps you remember the meaning, and it helps you remember the situation where you should use it.
If you learn bite the bullet just as face difficulty, you might use it incorrectly. But if you remember the example about the dentist, you understand the feeling of necessity.
The necessary unpleasantness. That emotional context is vital.
Tip number 2, don't try to learn 50 idioms at once. That is overwhelming.
It's a recipe for burnout, trying to memorize massive lists.
Our recommendation is the 3 idiom rule. Focus on mastering only 2 or 3 idioms per week.
And by mastering, we mean you can easily use them in a conversation without translating them first.
For this week, try to master under the weather and the ball is in your court. Only 2.
Use them when speaking to yourself. Use them in practice writing. Then try to use them with a language partner.
If you succeed with those 2, then next week move on to break a leg and bite the bullet. Keep the goal manageable.
This minimizes the cognitive load. It makes learning feel achievable. That's how real fluency builds up.
Our third tip is all about listening. We call this the detective method.
You need to become an idiom detective. When you watch English TV shows or listen to podcasts, your ears should be listening specifically for the idioms we teach.
When you hear a native speaker say, "That hit the nail on the head," you stop, rewind it, and write down the full sentence.
This reinforces tip number 1, but it connects the idiom to a real spoken voice, not just a textbook list.
It proves to your brain, natives really do use this. It validates the learning.
And when you hear an idiom that you don't know, treat it as a puzzle. Write it down exactly as you heard it, then research the meaning and the context later.
Active listening is key here. Don't just let the words wash over you. Listen for the chunks. Listen for the figurative language.
Tip number 4 is about personalization. Relate the idiom to your own life.
How do we do that?
For every idiom you learn, try to create a short, personal sentence about yourself. Something true.
If I learned under the weather, I might write, "Last week, I was under the weather and missed my yoga class."
That's perfect, because now the idiom is attached to your personal memory. It's harder to forget a personal story.
If I learned bite the bullet, I would write, "I bit the bullet and finally cleaned out my messy garage this weekend."
You're using the idiom actively, and you're integrating it with your everyday life. This is much more powerful than rote memorization.
It helps you internalize the meaning and the usage. It turns passive knowledge into active knowledge.
Final tip number 5, learn idioms in pairs or contrasting groups.
Contrast helps the brain separate concepts. It creates clear categories.
For example, we learned a break a leg, encouragement. What is the opposite?
Maybe call it a day, which means to stop working. They're both related to action, but one is starting and one is stopping.
Good contrast. Or compare a positive situation to a negative one. If something is a piece of cake, very easy, what is the opposite?
The opposite might be something that makes you have to bite the bullet. One is easy, one is necessary and hard.
By pairing them up, you force your brain to acknowledge the subtle differences. This speeds up fluency and recall.
These 5 tips should really set our listeners up for success.
We've covered 4 fantastic idioms. Now let's add 2 more. These relate to being accurate and being lazy.
Accuracy and laziness, two major parts of life.
Let's start with accuracy. This idiom means you are absolutely correct. You described a situation perfectly. The phrase is, hit the nail on the head.
I use this constantly. It's such a great phrase.
Imagine a carpenter. They are trying to hit a tiny nail with a hammer. If they do it right, they hit the top of the nail perfectly.
They hit the nail on the head. They achieved perfect precision.
That's the figurative meaning. It means to be exactly right, or to describe something precisely.
Let's say we are discussing a complicated problem, and you summarize it in one concise sentence.
You might say to me, Leo, you just said it perfectly. You hit the nail right on the head.
That's a massive compliment in English. It shows that you truly understood the core issue.
Another example, maybe a movie review. That critic really hit the nail on the head when she described the acting as brilliant, but the script as weak.
It sounds so natural, doesn't it? Much more flowing than saying, you are exactly correct.
It is much more idiomatic. Remember, we are aiming for natural speech, simple, everyday English.
Now for the opposite feeling, laziness or avoiding effort. This next one is highly common in business and everyday life. Cut corners.
To cut corners, what does that suggest?
It means to do something badly or cheaply to save time or money. You're skipping essential steps.
You are trying to find the easiest way out, even if it sacrifices quality.
Think about driving. If you literally cut a corner on a road, you drive dangerously. You skip the proper turning arc.
In life and work, cutting corners means you're taking a shortcut. And that shortcut usually results in poor quality.
Example, if a builder uses cheap materials to finish a house quickly. That construction company cut corners on the foundation, and now the house has problems.
This is a phrase that always carries a negative meaning. It implies poor behavior.
You would never tell someone, hey, go cut some corners on that important presentation. That would be bad advice.
No, unless you want them to fail. It's usually used to critique a decision or to explain a failure.
Let's summarize these 6 core idioms. We have under the weather, feeling sick, the ball is in your court, your turn to act, break a leg, good luck, do well, bite the bullet, face a difficult task, hit the nail on the head, be perfectly accurate, cut corners, sacrifice quality for speed or cost.
That's a strong set of foundational idioms. They cover so much ground.
Let's do a quick role play, Leo. I'll give you a scenario. You respond naturally using one of our 6 idioms.
I'm ready. Hit me with a scenario.
Scenario 1. I just finished explaining why the company missed its deadline. I identified the exact cause.
I would look at you and say, Mia, wow, you absolutely hit the nail on the head with that analysis.
Perfect! You used hit the nail on the head, meaning I was precisely right.
Scenario 2. I'm managing a negotiation. I just sent the final offer to the other team. Now I wait for their reply.
You would tell your colleague, my job is done for now. The ball is in their court.
Excellent usage of the responsibility idiom. It highlights the waiting period.
Scenario 3. I have a huge stack of paperwork to file this weekend. I really dread doing it, but it must be completed.
You must accept the unpleasant task, so you need to bite the bullet and get that filing done.
Great. It shows determination despite reluctance.
Scenario 4. My neighbor is building a new fence, but he bought the cheapest wood, and he installed it poorly.
That's a classic example of poor work. Your neighbor definitely cut corners on that fence project.
And because he cut corners, he will likely have to replace it soon, which saves no money in the long run. That's the negative consequence.
Scenario 5. I'm calling out sick from work. I just have a slight cold. Nothing serious.
I would call my manager and say, I apologize, but I woke up feeling a bit under the weather today.
That sounds very polite. It's a nice way to say you are ill.
Scenario 6. My younger sister is auditioning for a huge role in a play. She is very nervous.
You need to give her maximum encouragement. Tell her, you are so talented. Go out there and break a leg.
6 successful scenarios. See, listeners, how easily these fit into real dialogue? This is natural conversation flow. We are alternating lines quickly, using short, clear sentences.
Let's clarify one potential misuse. Can I use under the weather if I have a broken bone?
Generally, no. Under the weather usually implies a minor illness, something temporary, like a cold or fatigue.
A broken leg is a serious injury. You wouldn't downplay it. You would just say, I broke my leg.
Exactly. The tone of under the weather is gentle and light.
How about bite the bullet? Can I use it for something fun, like I bit the bullet and bought a new car?
No, that doesn't fit the feeling. Buying a new car might be a big expense, but it's usually a desired outcome. Bite the bullet is reserved for tasks you dread. The task is necessary, but it is painful or unpleasant. Filing taxes is a perfect example.
Or admitting you made a mistake. That takes courage. You have to bite the bullet and confess.
Now, let's circle back to our practical tips. We need to emphasize tip number 3, active listening.
Because that is where the discovery happens. You discover how natives truly use these words. If you hear someone say, he's always cutting corners, pay attention to the speaker's voice. It will sound critical or disappointed.
That confirms the negative meaning. The tone tells you as much as the definition.
And if you hear break a leg, the tone is always enthusiastic. It is always supportive.
So context is the master key. Always look at the entire sentence. Always listen to the tone of voice.
We've covered 6 powerful idioms. We've given 5 solid tips. We've shared fun origins. I think we hit the nail on the head with this episode.
I completely agree. We didn't cut any corners on explaining the details.
Definitely not. Let's move toward the wrap-up.
Wow, Mia, that was a deep dive into idiomatic English. We've made great progress.
It was a great talk. We covered 6 highly useful, authentic idioms. Remember, these phrases help bridge the gap between textbook English and real, natural conversation.
We talked about feeling under the weather, a simple way to say you are slightly sick, a polite excuse.
And assigning responsibility with the ball is in your court. It's professional and efficient.
We explored encouragement with break a leg. Use it before a big challenge.
And facing difficulty by learning to bite the bullet for those tasks we really don't want to do.
For accuracy, we now have hit the nail on the head for when you are perfectly correct.
And finally, we learned to recognize bad quality when people cut corners.
Our main encouragement to our listeners is simple. Start using them today. Use tip 2, pick 2, and integrate them into your speech this week.
Don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn. Native speakers will appreciate the effort. They will understand the meaning.
Try writing a few personal stories using the idioms. Use tip 4. Write about a time you had to bite the bullet or a time you were under the weather.
Practice makes perfect. And daily practice builds fluency quickly. Start small, but be consistent.
We hope this episode helps you feel more confident and helps you sound more natural. You know, like a real native speaker.
Thank you so much for joining us on the English Blend. We love spending this time with you.
Next week, we're going to be talking about phrasal verbs, specifically phrasal verbs for productivity. It's a topic you won't want to miss.
So tune in next time. Keep practicing, keep blending.
Yes, see you in the next episode of the English Blend.
Bye, everyone.